welcome back. So I hope you've had a really good start to the new year so far, and the video that I have for you today is my second possession check. So I had my first one of these videos about 3 or 4 months ago, and just for those of you who are new here, the purpose of these videos is for me to show you everything that I own so that I can start to see if there's anything unnecessary there that I could possibly get rid of to simplify my life. Now, just to be clear, the purpose of these videos is not just to be reducing the number of items, but it's also a way for me to keep a check that everything that I do own is making a positive contribution and anything that I get rid of is actually unnecessary to me. So the way this works is I have a video here in front of me, which is what you're going to be seeing, and I'm just going to describe the items so that everything's really clear for you. And then at the end, we'll see if I've made any progress from last time. Right, so let's get started. I'm going to begin with my clothing items. So first of all, here are my shoes. I've got my running shoes, my winter boots, and my summer shoes, which also double up as slippers for indoors. Then I have all of my trousers. So at the top I've got some joggers, a couple straight trousers. Then at the bottom some shorts and some indoor joggers. Then I have 4 t-shirts and 5 jumpers and also 4 shirts. Here is all of my underwear and socks, and at the bottom I have all of my running items. So I have gloves, top, shorts, and my phone case armband. And then the thing in the bottom right, that's just a little pouch that I put my keys into when I'm running so that they don't move around too much. I've got 5 formal shirts, a blazer, my 6 ties and a tie holder for them, 3 suits and a formal winter coat. Moving on to the outdoor items, I have a winter coat. On the right hand side, that's my raincoat, and at the bottom I have my umbrella, scarf and gloves. And here are my laundry items. So I've got a stain remover, detergent and a laundry bag. And the final bit of clothing is my bedding. So I've got a duvet cover, sheet, pillow and pillowcase. Okay, next I have my kitchen items. None of the things you see here have changed. A couple pans, my plates and bowls and my cutlery. Here I have another saucepan. I've got my reusable coffee cup and water bottle. And then I have a number of things that I keep my bulk food shopping in. So I've got a glass jar which I reuse for peanut butter. I've got a box for rice, and then a few plastic tubs which I can put different kind of things into. Finally, I have this cheese making kit which was given to me as a present, and I really plan to use this up before the next one of these videos. Next up are my electrical items. Here from the left I have my laptop and charger, have a digital scale and alarm clock, have a portable hard drive, a few USB cables for plugging everything in, my headphones, my mobile internet, mobile phone and online banking key. Here's all of the stuff relating to my old camera, so charger, extra lens and the camera itself. I had this portable document scanner which helps me to digitize some of the letters I get from various places, and I also had this extension cable. Finally, in this section I have the camera which I'm filming on right now and the spare battery which I bought for it. Next up I have all of the various containers and things like this which I store my items in. So here are 3 plastic containers which I use for that. And then I had this leather case as well which I put a few of my clothes in. I have this leather bag which, like I said last time, sometimes I use for traveling, but if I'm not traveling I can use it for storing items in. The same goes for this suitcase, so if I'm not traveling abroad I can use it for storing some of my items. This is my camera tripod and my backpack. Moving on, so next I have my kind of papers and things like this. First of all, these are all my important documents, and like I said last time, I'm just going to stick a number of 5 onto this. If I reduce it in the future, then I'll bring that number down. Here are all of my physical books. I try to have all of my books on Kindle these days, but some are just not available on Kindle, or I got them as paper versions for whatever reason. And I also have my drawing items. So I have my drawing pad, a pen, pencil refills, and my eraser. Coming up to the end, here I have all my shower items. So on the left, that's a bar of soap in a tray, which is actually the base of a 2-litre water bottle, which I reused. Next to that is my body wash and hair rinse. And I have 2 shower towels and 2 hand towels. These are all of my toiletries. It's pretty much all of the stuff you would expect. So I've got a toiletry bag, some cream, deodorant, toothbrush, some floss, some toothpaste. And then on the right hand side at the bottom I've got my shaving items. Below the hand cream are some allergy tablets and plasters. Then I have the odd bits that didn't go with any of the other categories. So I've got my Swiss Army knife, my wallet and keys. I've got my old wallet, which contains my foreign currencies. And the very last items are my chair and the cushion which I have on it to make it more comfortable. Okay, so that is absolutely everything that I own. It came to a total of 179, as you might have seen from the counter. And yes, that is a reduction from last time when the total was 188. So now let's have a look at what exactly I've been bringing into my life and what exactly I've been throwing away. First of all, these are all of the items which have come into my life in the last 3 months. In the top left, that's a reusable water bottle, which I got as a Christmas present. And also for Christmas, I got the book, which is below it. It's a book which I wasn't able to get on Kindle, and that's why I've got a physical copy of it. But once that's read, it will go to a secondhand bookshop. Then after that, there's the reusable containers, which I use for bulk buying food. And this is great because another big part of this channel is to see how I can move toward a more sustainable lifestyle, and part of that is to try to buy food which doesn't have too much packaging on it. And what I can do is I can take these containers to the bulk section of my food shop and just fill them up without having to bring home any packaging, so that's great. So I'm happy with all of those. Next is that bar of soap, and the new item is not actually the bar of soap, it's the tray that it's in, and that's, as I said earlier, the base of a 2-litre water bottle, which is really great. It means I don't have to go and buy a tray just for that purpose. It works perfectly well. And then I've got that extension cable. Now the reason why I've got this from last time is because I've moved to a new home and the building's quite an old one, which means it's only got single power outlets, and it's just not enough for me when I'm at my desk and I want to maybe charge a couple of my electrical items or have my desk light on or something like this. Then finally on the right hand side I have my new laundry bag, which just makes it easier to carry my laundry around to the washing machine and things like this, so I'm happy that I got that. And in the bottom right, those are just some comfortable, warm indoor trousers which I can wear to sleep or around the house on weekends and things like this, so I'm happy with those. And generally, looking at these things, they're things which are going to either last a long time, they help me reduce the waste in my life, or they're things which are going to be in my life not permanently. So the things like the power cable and the book, once I've got no more use to them, they can go to better uses elsewhere, so I'm happy with all of that. Now let's look at the items which I was able to get rid of to see why it makes my life better to get rid of those and why I don't need them. So starting off here, I've got first the power charger for my new camera, and the reason why I don't need this is because the charger which I use for my mobile phone works perfectly well for this, so I don't need to have those both in my life. And then the item below that is the lens bag which I got with my lens for my new camera, and to be honest, it's just made from this really cheap material, and seeing as I have that lens on my camera all of the time, I really don't see any need in that. It was just sitting on my shelf for no reason, so that was also a really easy decision. Then next I have a couple books which I've finished reading, so those are going to a secondhand bookshop. Then I have a few clothing items, not all of them are here, but the ones here are a white shirt which I honestly hadn't worn for a couple of years, so I thought it was time to let that move on. I'm going to give that to a charity shop. And then I was able to get rid of some underwear, because if you saw my last video, I had just a ridiculous amount of socks and underwear, so I was able to get rid of a few pairs of those. So that makes my life better. I don't have so many of those, I don't need them. I was able to get rid of my hair product because I have not been using that for about half a year now. That's one less thing to buy and have to throw in recycling all of the time. And below that hair product, I've got my lip balm, which again, I really rarely use, so I thought that's another thing that I don't need. My shaver, which I got about half a year ago, came with all of these extra clip-ons for trimming your beard, and I really don't need all of them. I only use one of them anyway, so I'm just keeping that one, and all of the rest of these can go. And then finally on the right there, I have an eraser pen and some refills. And now this is one of those items that when I got it, I thought it was such a great idea. But what I noticed was that because of the way that the rubber is made, it actually leaves a little bit of rubber on the paper. And then over time, this means that I can't keep reusing that paper and drawing over it many times. So this is just one of those things that at the time, it seemed like a good idea, but over time I noticed that it's not actually that helpful, and I'm just happy using a plain old eraser for my drawings from now on. Then a few other things which are not available in this shot were a paper manual for my old camera, which is available online, so that was an easy decision to get rid of. Then I also had an old tooth whitening kit which ran out and an old moisturizer which ran out, so they're gone. And I had my weights, which I gave up on because my exercise routine doesn't need them anymore, so I took those to the recycling centre. My sister was in need of a reusable water bottle, so I was able to give her my plastic one when I got my new stainless steel one for Christmas. And finally, I had a spare plastic toothbrush lying around, which I was able to give to a friend because I'm planning to move toward compostable toothbrushes in the future. Okay, so looking at all of these items which I was able to get rid of since last time, there's nothing here which I think that maybe I should have kept, so that's all good. What I noticed from making my first one of these videos a few months ago was that it was really helpful to see everything that I own out in front of me so that I could see the kind of things that I could possibly get rid of in future. And what I've noticed is that whilst I've been making this video for you, I've started to notice the kind of things that by next one of these videos I would like to possibly get rid of. First of all, my old camera, I really don't need it anymore. I'm going to try and get that sold before the next one of these videos. I'm going to have that cheese making kit which I really want to use up. I have so many of these physical books which I think I could get through and read. Then I have a digital alarm clock which I don't even use anymore, so that's an easy item which I could get rid of. Okay, so that is everything for today. I'm really happy that I've made some progress coming down from 188 items to 179 today, but more importantly I'm happy that the things that I'm bringing in are really useful to me and the things that I'm getting rid of are completely unnecessary. So until next time I'll just be thinking about those few things that I want to get rid of, and in about 3 months time I will be showing you another one of these videos to let you know how I've been getting on. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.